I was Lord here. The Lord loves you. And if you chasing validation or anybody in life, you already lost. So what do I mean by that? External validation. What is that? You see this shirt? I wore it for myself. I didn't wear it for y'all. It's a nice shirt. I know y'all like it, but I wore it for me, even though y'all probably like it. So external validation is doing something and expecting someone else to basically, I don't want to use validate, but say good job or that's nice or basically credit you for this thing. Now, what you should be doing is everything for yourself. But we know life is not necessarily like that all the time. We do sometimes we want a little gratitude, we want a little gratification and stuff from our peers, friends, families, and that's all right. But I can tell you that life would be way better if you just decided to do it for you. There are a lot of things we do throughout the day that are for us. However, that's not always all the time, especially because sometimes we think that our worth comes from this validation. We think that, okay, we don't have a lot of friends or we don't have, as people would say, fine shit. You know what I'm saying? A lot of everybody saying fine shit nowadays. I don't understand, but we don't have fine shit. And that makes us feel like we're not worth anything. Now, besides the fact that you can keep that fine shit, you know what I'm saying? I don't want anything that calls himself shit in my life. Um, Besides that, that doesn't mean anything. Because most of these people are also seeking external validation, and you're helping them get external validation by moping around, crying, and doing all these things because you can't acquire these people's attention. Now, you see how that works? Now, first and foremost, I want to say I'm not a therapist. I'm just a guy with a brand, tour.shop. Thank the Lord. The Lord loves you on Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Discord, all of that. But let's get back to it. So yeah, this external validation is it will unalive a lot of people. I've been living my life trying to get this validation from my peers, my family, everybody, This it's one of those things where it's like you do something, okay, I'm only going to college so that my family can be proud. And making my family proud is going to give me some sort of validation. Now, you could just not go to college or go to university or whatever and do what you want because you want to be a creative. You don't want to be a doctor. You don't need to do these things. I feel like maybe that example wasn't necessarily the best. I'm not going to apologize because I don't regret it. But yeah, so external validation, let's just kind of move on from that for a second. So again, validation is pretty temporary. So yeah, sure, for 5 seconds they're gonna like this thing, but then they're gonna go back to not caring, which is gonna make you. It's almost like the repeating cycle of the cool. The cool. I kind of touched on this before, but once you're cool, you gotta keep being cool. Like you can't not be cool anymore because once you're not cool anymore, nobody cares. So you gotta keep up with being cool. So the Jordans and all of these cool trends and things you're doing to stay cool and relevant and receive validation from all your friends and peers and internet people that don't even really care about you for more than they don't even watch your story. You know what people do? People make you think they're watching your story, but they're in fact just going like this. So you're sitting there posting some crazy something just to get validation from this person that you think is watching your story and they're not even watching your story. I'm telling you from experience. I watch some of my friends, especially the ones that are into marketing and branding and stuff like that, they have to acquire a certain amount of attention and engagement. They're not even looking at your page for real. They're just literally like bop, 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 bop. They sit there like that. And then well, guess what happens? You're instantly like, so and so looked at my page. So and so's doing this. Now you're always checking. You post something. Did Tom, Dick, and Harry look at my thing? Meanwhile, Tom, Dick, and Harry is doing the same thing for some other people. So it's all this cycle. But I digress. So let's move on. I have notes. So now that you understand what external validation is, I'm hoping after a 5-minute rant of uh of projecting, basically. Of projecting. I don't necessarily do that stuff anymore, but you know, basically I'm never gonna say, oh, I never did that. This is why I'm here. I'm here to, my glasses are broken, okay? So leave me alone. So that's all I gotta say. So now that you realize, look, I don't want to feel like that no more. I don't want to constantly check if someone's checking my page. I don't need that validation. I decide today, right now, this is what you're going to do. You're going to decide right now, watching this video. You might have already decided it, and this might be another video for you to watch. But you might have already decided it. But from right now, or at least when you end this video, I want you to focus on yourself. You need to focus on yourself. Now, you don't know what focusing on yourself looks like, then you need to do a lot of soul searching. Now, that sounds more difficult than it is, but it's mainly just like, what do you like? What do you like to do? What do you know, like what makes you you? I feel like also a lot of people who are seeking external validation don't know what makes them them. That was something like me. Once I decided, listen, I can't keep chasing these people because it's gonna make me sad all the time that they don't give me this validation. Once I decided that I can validate myself, things changed for me. My creativity went through the roof. I wasn't like buying clothes and doing all these things like to be trendy. First of all, I don't ever think I was ever trying to be trendy, but I think you can understand what I'm saying. I'm not putting on full Rick Owens outfits no more. I'm wearing some miscellaneous random clothing versus that I actually like, that people are still liking because I put that shit on. You feel me? Like, some validation via being myself is amazing, but I'm not seeking it. But it's because I'm being myself. I'm already being myself. So you're congratulating me for being myself, which is awesome, but I don't need it at this point. So you need to just focus on yourself. And you can go do a bunch of creative things. How do you focus on yourself? You go, like I said, maybe you want to dress different. There's a couple things in your head that you might want to do. You might want to start going to the gym. All these things that you're putting off, if you have enough time to sit and seek external validation from people, that means you have enough time to go work on yourself and be in the gym and this and that. And instead of checking your story 15,000 times a day, your screen time for the day is 6 hours because you checked your story 25 times like I usually used to do. You could go and, I mean, I be cleaning. It doesn't look like my craft table is kind of crazy, but hey, ADHD, I don't know if I got it. But I be doing this one moment, and the next thing I'm sweeping the floor. The next thing, anyway, next thing, next thing I'm trying to go to sleep. Then I remember I got groceries, and then oh wait, I forgot that I was cleaning. Anyway, so you can work on crafts. You can read a book. Yeah. So to focus on yourself, you could read a book, work on some crafts. You might have some projects you didn't finish. You have some friends you haven't spoken to in a while. That's another thing too. You are seeking validation from these people that you don't even know, and you, worst case scenario, you can seek validation from your friends, like as far as like your close inner circle of friends. I don't mean like the person you call friend that is barely your friend from the internet. I mean like your right hand mans, all of them. You can focus on them. You need something else to focus on besides the person that's making you feel bad, just to bring everything back to what we're talking about. We're talking about, if you are chasing things, people, I use them, her, him, whatever, but this is really like in life. You need to let things go. You need to focus on yourself and understand that once you give it up to the universe or God or what or whomever you believe in or what situation you believe in yourself, just let it go. Just let it go. I know that sounds crazy, and I've been fighting that advice for ages, but in a couple months ago, I'm not gonna lie, I think I had the finest woman. I had the finest woman that I think I have ever dated in my entire life. Like, she made me like change my whole life. You know what I'm saying? After she decided that she didn't want to be with me, and I didn't really know why. And it drove me crazy. And that's another thing, but we'll go into that in another video. Yo, listen, look, listen, clearly I had what I think was the one, and it was crazy. I'm not gonna go into detail, but it was one day. It was one day, and then I think I fumbled it, even though it was super high intensity and seeming like this person really liked me. And I even told myself, I never even usually do this, but I even told myself, you know what, like, I'm gonna make sure that when she hit me up again or whatever situation, it's lit. You know what I'm saying? It's lit. I'm not used to rejection. I'm not used to like. I'm not saying I'm out here being Mr. Guapo. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not really used to women, especially like if we're intimate. Not to get too crazy, but like that just put me on another level. So I realized in that 2 weeks, 3 weeks where I'm walking around in my head, I'm like, I got the finest shorty. Finally, she's so fire. She rocked the Izzy Miyagi. She told me that I'm fiery. She told me that I'm good. I'm telling you, I was in love. I was in love for like 3 weeks. My man had to tell me, like, bro, you look like you in love and you crazy. And then until she finally got back from vacation and she hit me with the I'm not interested. I didn't know what was going on. So for like a month, I was in a slump. In that slump, I came out the mud. You feel me? I came out the mud. I went through a lot of situations where it was like where it was just kind of like I don't know what's wrong with me. Cause I had one of the what y'all call fine shit. And fine shit didn't want me. She wanted something. You know what I'm saying? The night progressed, but I'm just saying after that she ain't want me. Now people gonna say that the game was whack, but from listen. I'm outside. Not like that, but I just know that that wasn't it. You know what I'm saying? The sexy time, that I don't think that was it. It was a little miscommunication. This is not what this video is about. So let's go. I told you that ADHD. So anyway, to super long story short, to stop being so entertaining for once. You need to really stop seeking external validation from people, especially like people that don't do nothing with themselves. That's point blank period. To again, just to bring the comedic side to an end, stop seeking external validation from people who really aren't on shit. You know what I'm saying? Like these people don't be doing shit. Like you are seeking external validation. For example, me amongst a lot of my peers, I'm not gonna ever say you don't really know what people got going on in their personal life. But amongst surface level, amongst my peers, I'm really up here, and like some of them are all the way down here. But I'm still up here being like, yo, dude, you see like what I'm doing up here, bro? Like you come up here too, bro. And they're just like, I can't even hear you. And I'm up here like, bro, why are you not answering me? You're making me mad. This is kind of perfect. You're making me mad, bro. He's like, I can't even hear you. I'm not focused on it yet. I can't hear you. And I'm like, I hate you. And they're like, bro, I can't even hear you. Why do you hate me? So that's kind of how life works, you know? You start seeking that external validation. You don't know what anybody's going through in their life. You're getting upset because this person's not hitting you back and doing all this, that, and the third. Mind you, they got their own life. They got their own thing they got to go through. They got families too. They got situations. And a lot of the people that you think are not going through anything or seemingly not going through anything are the people that are going through the most. So you might think like, yo, Bob's on Instagram doing this and he's not answering me. Yet Bob's family is not in the best condition. Bob got some situation back home. Bob's, like partner like does this to them, like a whole bunch of stuff. Like you never know what anybody's going through. So that's why you really need to stop seeking and chasing things. Stop chasing things. Stop seeking things out. Now, am I saying not to be assertive in like your life goals? I'm not saying that. You could definitely write your goals, go do your goals. But once something seems like it's not for you, you gotta just let it go. You know, that's what I had to learn. It hurt. It hurt. I almost want to start crying right now, understanding that like there's actually gonna be times where people just don't explain themselves, and you have to be okay with it. And you have to just be like, you know what, this person don't want me. Yep, sad times, but that's how you get out the mud. You realize that. Stop seeking external validation. Stop chasing after him, her, it, them, whatever it is that you're looking for, and just focus on yourself. Focus on yourself, and trust me, that's the first step. Focus on yourself is this first step, and figuring out what you need to be doing versus chasing behind people. Anyway, I appreciate y'all. Tour.shop. Thank the Lord on Instagram. Have a good day, and listen, you're awesome.